What's going on, Scentvibes? I'm back with another one for y'all. So, transparency here. I'm new to this fragrance game. I mean, I've known about fragrance for a long time. I've been loving fragrance for a long time and wearing them for a long time. But I have a lot of like personal friends, not just people that I met on here, through social media, and then, I caught vibes with some of y'all, which I appreciate and love y'all. But some of my real friends, like real life friends, they follow and they support me just because the strength of our relationship. But they don't know what the hell I'm talking about. They just like and just support me just because we cool. But they don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So I came up with the Scent Vibe Dictionary to help explain to new fragrance lovers and just people that, like I say, some people that just support me, which I love and I appreciate y'all so much. Just support me just on the strength of our relationship. So I'm gonna break down some stuff, about scents that you need to know if you're new to this, you want to get into this game, or you just want to smell good. So I'm gonna break some of this down for y'all. Now, full transparency also, it's a lot I got here, so I got notes, so you might catch my eyes cutting away to check my notes out. But listen, I'll try to edit it out, but I'm not perfect, so just rock with me, y'all. Vibe out with me, and just get some of these scent vibe definitions from my scent vibe dictionary. So first off, what is fragrance? Fragrance is basically just a blend of what we call fragrance notes, which I'll explain a little bit later. Fragrance notes, and that which are oils. They're mixed with perfumer's alcohol. They're blended, they're mixed, and they come up with a beautiful concoction. You know, Fragrance is a lot like music, so notes combine and make a beautiful song. So that's what I like to say fragrance does as well. So that's what cologne, perfume, and all that. That's what that is. A perfumer, they get an idea, they mix them together, and then they come up with what we have is a perfect scent. So I have one laying around here. So we have this one here, Intoxicate, whatever. What is it called? Intoxicate Mystique. It's a good overall scent, but that's just, that's what cologne is. So now, like I said, what are notes? Also, as y'all know, Scent Vibe Style, I'll have nice little uh pictures for y'all to so y'all, visualize what I'm talking about. So notes. Notes are different smells you smell that you pick up during a fragrance. They're broken down into top notes, middle notes or heart notes, and base notes. That's the finishing touch. Top notes are what you smell first. That's going to be your first impression. So that's going to be fresh and bright type stuff, citrus, fruit, aromatics, and things like that. Middle notes are going to be called middle notes or heart notes. They show up once the fragrance starts to settle down a little bit. That start to give the real personality of the scent, and it starts to come together. That's going to be a lot of times going to be florals, spices, lavender, herbs, sometimes even woods, things like that. And base notes are the foundation of the scent. That's what's going to stick around the longest. That's what you're going to smell like 2, 3 hours down, 4 hours down the line. That's going to be things like woods, amber, musk, resins, leather, things of that nature. So basically, your top notes are going to introduce the scent. Your middle notes are going to shape the scent. And then your base notes are going to finish the scent. So that's why fragrances change over time. You might smell something in the store, you spray on yourself, you're like, oh, this smells real citrusy. But then, like, you walk around the mall, you smell it later, you're like, this smells like vanilla. So that's pretty much why that happens, because the notes start to develop and they break down to the scent. All right. Now we're going to break down something called scent bubble. Scent bubble is basically the cloud of fragrance that's around you. It's going to be what surrounds you. It's going to be your personal smelling space. Basically that's what a scent bubble is. Not all fragrances have huge scent bubbles. Some stay closer to your skin. Some push out more and make their presence more known. A good scent bubble doesn't always mean that it's loud. Sometimes the fragrance can just sit close to you. That's what we like to call a skin scent. It's still amazing when somebody gets next to you. That's like, when you want to be intimate with your significant other, that's you wear something that's, that lays close to you, so they get to smell you, and you go on from there. That's good for like date nights, nighttime scents. Just sometimes you want to be intimate. Now, sillage. Sillage is the trail that your fragrance leaves behind you when you move. So, sometimes, your fragrance might hit the room before you do, or you leave the room and then the fragrance is still around. That's what sillage is. So, to separate that from scent bubble is what you smell. That's what's around you. But the sillage is what follows you or introduces you before you even come in the room. All right, that's that. Now we're going to move on to different types of fragrances because there's a lot. So there's something called a chypre. That's, and like I said before, I'm gonna have the lovely scent vibe pictures up there for y'all to see. So chypre is going to be like a earthy, mossy, citrusy type of scent. You're going to get crisp citrus at the top, and then it dries down to something mainly, like a green, mossy type of scent. Most of the time, they're sophisticated. You're going to think of something like Aventus is like a fruity, chypre scent. That's going to be like grown man type scent. Then you have floral scents. There's going to be heavily dominated by rose, white florals such as jasmine or orange blossom, which is real popular nowadays. That's going to be stuff that's built around soft florals, rose notes. They come off fresh, romantic, smell good. Men can wear florals, and please, men, don't be scared of florals. They offer a lot of smooth and elegant scents. Then we have leather dominant type scents. That's going to be dark, smoky, sometimes a little animalic, but they're going to be mainly for fall and winter. That's going to be like raw, confident type of scents. You have something called a fougere. A fougere is going to be your fresh, green, masculine DNA. That's going to be things like lavender, herbs. They give off like that barbershop type feel. Clean cut. That's going to be a fougere. Then you have oriental, which I'm really digging orientals right now. That's going to be warm, deep, luxurious type of scents. All right, like that's date night, dressed up scents, stuff like that. To me, orientals are spices that you're going to smell in your kitchen cabinets. So it's going to be stuff like uh, cardamom, saffron, resinous stuff. It's just stuff like that. Like I say, a lot of times because fragrances have spices in them. So sometimes that's going to be what that is. Then you have a gourmand. That's going to be I smell like a snack type scent. That's going to be stuff that's like dessert, super sweet, vanilla, caramel. Just scents that make you feel like you're edible. You have a blue fragrance, which is real popular in the game, especially by my fellas. So blue fragrances are clean, fresh. That's like your everyday shower gel heavy hitter when you just want to smell clean. Like I say, fresh, like that. They're really good for it's like summer, springtime. White T-shirt, white party, things like that nature. You grab and go, can't go wrong with that type of scent. And you have woody scents. That's going to be wood, spices, earthy type tones, cedar wood, sandalwood, vetiver, gaiac wood, akigala, of course, oud. And that's going to be masculine, steady. That's going to be your confident type scents. Also, I hope I'm not going too fast for y'all, but like I said, we're going to have graphics posted so y'all can see it as well. We're going to have the strength of your fragrance. So that's broken down into the most popular ones are EDT, EDP, Parfum, Extrait. So basically, EDT is going to be lighter, brighter, easy going. That's Eau de Toilette. EDP is Eau de Parfum. That's going to have a little bit more depth and richness. Then you have a Parfum, which goes into even deeper and smoother. And you also have extrait, which is usually the most concentrated, richest version. So basically, your strength is based down to your oil content level. I'm also going to list like a graphic that's going to show you like the examples of EDT, the oil levels of that, EDP, the oil levels of that. So that's what that is. I like this thing of fragrance as like music. Sometimes your projection is going to be your volume, your sillage is the echo, your longevity is how long the song is, and your concentration is going to be the sound quality. just because it's not loud doesn't mean it's not working. And that's basically going to be volume one of Scentvibes Fragrance Dictionary. So hopefully y'all got something out of this. Like I say, to all my friends that just support me, that don't know nothing about fragrance, I appreciate y'all so much. So hopefully when y'all hear me talking and I'm saying, "Ooh, this got projection," ooh, this, hopefully that'll help y'all understand what I'm talking about, because I know sometimes I'm sitting up here and I'm, with my wife. I'm like, "Oh, you smell it? You see the sillage on this one, or did you?" And she don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But like I say, I just wanted to do this to help introduce people to fragrance terminology. People that are just getting into the game. Hopefully, this can help y'all out a little bit. And all y'all that already know, just like it, and just I appreciate y'all so much. Love y'all. I hope y'all have a great day. Peace.